Hi, Bill here with 30 Minute Woodshop. Thanks for joining. So today let's talk about power planers. Okay, power planers are super useful in the right application. Now, you look behind me here. I have a whole slew of hand planes. Every one of those planes has kind of a specific intent and use. They're really good for what they do, and for me, that's all fine work. Now, for power planers, however, this is primarily for removing a lot of crap very quickly. All right, that's usually the purpose of all power tools, because I can get to where I want to be much more quickly than I could by using those things. All right, these things will take off that fast. I mean, like snap, 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 and you're down and you're done. No setup, no anything. I pull it out, set the dimension that I want, the depth I want, and I zip it across, and I'm done. All right, now I use these primarily for fitting things, all right, like bar tops and those kind of things if they're a little out of whack, and I need to do something along an entire line, and I don't have to worry too much about exactly how it fits. I'll pick up this. If I'm worried about the exact fit, I'll pick up one of those. All right, so we got two things here. So I'm going to show you a little bit of difference here between Porter Cable and Ryobi. Now, I bought the Ryobi, some time ago at their outlet store up in, where the heck was that, Birch Run. So I picked this up for like 35, 40 bucks, and it serves my purpose really well. It's a refurb unit. It's a matter of fact, it's even branded refurb or something like that right here. Been really good. Now, the Porter Cable, I was over at a flea market over in Allegan, Michigan, and the guy had this on a $5 table. And it's like, does it work? Yeah, it works, but nobody wants it for 10. So to me, that's silly. For 10, I'd have bought it for 10 bucks, but it was $5. I couldn't pass the deal up. As long as the thing spins and the blades are in decent condition, which they are, it's well worth the $5. I looked online. I think these things run someplace between 100 to 120. I saw some guy on eBay trying to sell it for 160. I don't know exactly what they cost, but these things are pretty expensive, and I have no idea what this costs, to be honest with you. I would not personally, for most people, I would never buy one of these brand new. I'd buy a refurb unit just because they're just as good. So anyway, a couple things about these two tools. They're almost identical. All right. The guys that make Ryobi, actually, I can't remember the name of the company. Shoot, I can't remember the name of the company. Anyway, they make Milwaukee, and they also make Rigid. So, you're looking at a pretty solid company behind these. Porter Cable, same thing here when it comes to their corded tools. I am not happy. So far, I've not been happy with their battery-operated tools. I may give it another chance sometime soon just to see if they're still having the same kind of problems the last one I had. Anyway, corded tools I really like. I got lots of Porter Cable corded tools, and I've lived with those things forever, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. But all that said, these two tools are almost identical. They both weigh 6.5 pounds, and I just checked that here with the scale. And I did that because I wanted to see if there's actually any intrinsic difference in, for instance, the windings in the motors or something like that. They both spin at 16,500 RPM. They're both 6-amp motors. They both have, all the basic features that you'd find anywhere: trigger lock, adjustments, aluminum foot plate, all those kind of things. So overall, you pick them up, they're almost identical. But there are a few differences. So why don't you come on in here and let's take a look. So a couple things you'll notice immediately is they both have D handles. They both have triggers and trigger locks. Now I have these unplugged so I can do this, so easy to use. They both have selector switches, and that just tells you which direction your chips are being ported out to. They do both have chip ports left and right, so that's pretty cool. They both have the ability to infinitely vary between 5/64ths and 0. This one actually has what they call parking, and so does this, which brings the blade further up than 0. So you have that. Easy to adjust. They all have clicks. So between the clicks you can vary it, but you can go click to click at 64th of an inch. So it's very easy to do. 64th is pretty good. Half a 64th, you know, your 1/28th. That's barely dusting the surface. So that's pretty, I don't see that you'd be using that personally. You might, I don't know. Same kind of thing. So we do have on both sides, they have the capability to put in a foot, all right. This one has the same thing. Now what's interesting about these is these little toggles, or little screws, thumb screws, these actually are identical. I mean, like right down to the mold marks. So they're buying those from the same guy, whoever that is. That's pretty cool. Now let's flip them over. A couple other things you want to see here. Here's one thing that Ryobi does have is they have this storage piece for their wrench, and that's the wrench to take out the blades. But if you flip these over, a couple things you'll notice immediately. All right, Ryobi only has one groove. This is just a chamfering groove, so you put that on the edge. You can run a chamfer. Porter Cable has 3 of those, so you can go down to a 16th, 3/16, I'm guessing, and then or sorry, an 1/8 and 3/16. Total guess on that. I haven't checked them, so I don't know. But makes it a little finer if you want to do that kind of thing. I never use these for that type of work. Normally I grab a router for that, but you know, might work if they're interested in that. Like I said, they both have aluminum feet. They both have the parking foot, so that when you set this down, if the blade's still spinning, which it is, by the way, you turn this thing off, it takes a while for the blade to stop, and it keeps the blade off the surface, so you're not cutting into something like my bench, for instance, or whatever it is I'm doing. Just make sure you put it on a flat. So pretty easy, pretty much the same. Flip them around. They have the same features on the other side. So one thing you can see here is this little foot. That's just a stabilization foot for this is a stabilization foot for the dados. So pretty straightforward. Now I bought this used, so it didn't come with any accessories. This does have a hole here in the front. So maybe that's where they have wrench storage. So I couldn't tell you because I don't have the wrench for it or anything. But to give you an idea what they normally come with, okay, this is your dado plate. It also helps stabilize the planer if you're trying to make a really square cut. Generally, you don't have to worry too much about that, but pretty straightforward. Fits into the foot. Clamp it down. Actually goes the other way, but I'm not going to show you all that. This does come with both of them do come with a bag, so the bag fits on. And of course, you can also use this and put it on a vacuum and do a direct vac. This does come with the same types of accessories. Again, I bought it used, so I don't get any of those accessories. I may try and find them on eBay or something just to see. But you know, frankly, I don't use those accessories, so I don't know why I'd bother. But you can see they're pretty darn close to being the same thing. Same weight, same RPM, same amperage, same everything. Even the blades themselves, if you look at the blades, here, let me move some of this stuff and take a quick look at the blades. Okay, even the blades, they're identical. Method of putting the blades in and holding the blades in place, identical. So you really got, I mean, what you're buying here is you're buying effectively the same type of thing, the same system both times. So pretty much the same if you buy either one of them. Again, I'm kind of like Porter Cable. I bought this, like I said, used. So we'll see. Let's give these a quick try. I'll chuck up some wood here and we'll do a little bit of planing and see how they work out. All right, as always, be sure you read and follow all safety directions, all directions in your owner's manual. If you don't, here's my owner's manual for the Ryobi, and I actually have one downloaded for the Porter cable. You can find all these online. Be sure you pull that and read through it. Make sure you understand all the safety ramifications. All right, these things can hurt you pretty bad. All right, don't forget hearing protection, eye protection, anytime you're doing this. Now, I don't expect a lot of difference between these two machines because, again, they're identical. It's mostly, honestly, I think it's mostly going to come out to color and whether or not the blades are really sharp in that Porter cable. I know how much time's on this, so honestly, they should be giving me almost the exact same cut. I'm going to set these to, let's see, how about 1/16 of an inch. This is softwood. It's just a piece of 2x6. That'll give me plenty of depth, and you can take a look at the cut and make sure the cut's doing well. So let's give it a try. Okay, pretty nice. I do notice the fact that there is a nick in the blade. So sometime I'm going to have to change these blades. But really nice. There's no chatter or anything that I can feel. And that's taken off 1/16 of an inch. Let's try the Porter cable here. Okay, so that actually turned out better than the Ryobi, but that's primarily because apparently there's a nick in my blade here. And boy, that's hardly any nick at all, but it's enough to leave a little bit of a mark that I'd have to sand out if I use this one. So I got to replace these blades here soon. But this has a fair amount of time on it. No idea about this, but the blade's cutting pretty well. You can kind of see the chips it makes. Nice and smooth. Honestly, this is cutting better than my Ryobi. But again, I think it's just tool maintenance. I gotta get on changing those blades. So anyway, two tools, almost identical performance. Like I said, the Ryobi probably needs a little maintenance. That falls on me. They both work great. Why I have two of them, I honestly, I just couldn't pass up the deal for $5. I would say this. If you're doing any kind of plating where you have to hog off a lot of material, absolutely get one of these things. I don't know that it's worth $160, but if you can find one for 100 or less, or you find one used for 75, honestly, I would pick one up. Because for me, or a refurb unit, like I said, refurb unit for 35, $40, absolutely get one. You're probably not going to be using it that much for starters. But hey, very useful tool for me. Might be useful for you too. I'll put a link at the bottom of these things so you can find them if you want. And hope you got something out of this. If you did, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. You can also find a link down here. If you hit more, you can find a link to my blog. And you want to read a little bit about these two tools. And hey, like I said, if you got something out, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. And until next time, good making.